In this video, I'll be talking about the new XR Sony TVs to give you some insight as to which might be the best one for you. If you want more information on any of these TVs, be sure to click the link in the description. That will take you to our full review on audiovice.com. Now, let's get started. If you've been a fan of Sony TVs like a lot of us here at AudioVice, Sony's XBR designation meant the best of the best in video quality for decades. When Sony first told us about their new video processor back in 2021 called the XR, we were very excited about how this could make their great picture even better. A year later, Sony has made even more advancements to create the best televisions on the market. This year, along with the new QD-OLED, OLED, and full array LED models, Sony has introduced their first ever mini LED televisions, the Z9K Master Series and A95K. Sony also highlights their commitment to sustainability this year. Some of the new models use 99% recycled plastic material, and they even reduce packaging size by 15%, the use of ink by 90%, and plastics by 35%. And at AudioVice, we love this. So first, I'm going to dive into the new tech many of the 2022 TVs share in common. Then, I will go into each model series to describe what you get as you spend a little bit more to get Sony's best technology. There are 27 different TVs in the 2022 Sony lineup, and 18 of those use the latest XR processor. In this video, I'll just be focusing on the XR models. So first, let's talk about the processor. Of all the big changes from last year, the XR processor provided the biggest picture improvements over the previous models. The XR processor added cognitive intelligence, which actually goes beyond artificial intelligence to imitate the visual process of the human brain. Basically, the XR processor is looking at every single frame and breaking it down to the thousands of elements all at the same time in a similar way to how humans process visual information. Everywhere you look, there are certain parts in your field of vision that you focus on more, and the XR processor uses AI to make the picture look more like you would see in real life. There is separate processing going on for color, contrast, motion, and clarity to produce a lifelike image. All of these aspects need to be perfectly executed. The job of the XR cognitive intelligent processor is very similar to the director of an orchestra. You can imagine everything going on inside each of these elements as a musician or group of musicians. The XR processor acts as the director to decide how much of each component to apply to each of the thousands of elements inside every single frame. As you move up the model line, the technology improves for some of these aspects, but the XR processor that is doing the directing is identical in all of the latest models with this groundbreaking video processor. I hope most of you would plan to add a full surround system or great soundbar to a TV of this level, but the XR processor improves the audio if you are using the TV for your movie sound too. As far as upgrades go, the latest 2022 Sony TV XR processor upgrades include an improvement in depth control called depth control mapping, which more accurately identifies near objects from the background, especially around the focal points, to present real-life depth with a natural look and feel. The next improvement is a new color algorithm that can develop brighter colors that were not previously recognized by the XR processor. The upgrade analyzes each frame to control the luminance and saturation for improved color volume without desaturation. And this gives the overall picture more vivid, vibrant colors with darker darks over the previous models. Sony has been famous for the triluminous video processing for years, which maps colors from a wider palette to reproduce finer gradients of shades and hues. The new XR Triluminous Pro takes this color palette and widens the color space even more through 3D color algorithm processing. If you've ever seen bands on your TV picture where there are very small gradients of color changes across the whole screen, like you might see in a sunrise image, then you have seen what is called banding. Sony has always had a great system to reduce banding, but it takes it to a new level with the XR processor. 4K images that might have banding on other TV brands will look super smooth on these new sets. Let's face it, right now, not all the content we enjoy is in 4K or even better, 8K. Sony has always done a great job of upscaling the incoming signal to 4K or 8K if the set supports it. And this year, these models have XR upscaling, which takes advantage of the better processor to turn your 1080p or 1080i signal into something that looks even better. We love the fact that Sony keeps improving this technology since it applies so much to streaming content today. Now, both of the top-of-the-line models in the new 2022 lineup come bundled with a new tech Sony calls Bravia Cam and Ambient Optimization Pro. The Bravia Cam is a high-quality webcam that will let you have video chat calls on your big screen. All other 2022 models are compatible with the Bravia Cam as well, but as an optional accessory that you can add on later. There are some pretty cool gesture-based controls, and it has the ability to optimize the sound and picture settings based on your environment and even your seating position. Now, these features are all interesting, but we think the high-quality webcam for video chat calls will be the most useful application. If you work from home, you could just have a video chat in the comfort of your living room, on the couch, or in any room where your TV is. And the Bravia Cam will work with major video chat services. And as developers roll out their apps, Sony confirmed a selection of compatible third-party webcams should also work with them as well. The new 2022 models continue with the Google TV support with great search features using Google Assistant. This lets you organize your content or even use it to find your remote. The TVs are also compatible with Alexa, letting you incorporate the TV into your preferred smart home system. If you have been wanting a big library of 4K content, Sony continues to offer their Bravia Core streaming platform. This is included in all the models with the new XR processor, and this gives you access to the huge library of Sony content. The really great news for those of us with high-speed internet is their Pure Stream technology. You'll need 100 down to get the full benefit, but this gives you the same picture quality as a 4K UHD Blu-ray disc. With the largest library of IMAX enhanced content available, the Bravia Core app is pretty darn cool. Now, for anyone lucky enough to have a new gaming console, this next feature is a big deal. All of the Sony new TV sets have HDMI 2.1, which supports up to 48 gigabits per second and 120 frames per second on 4K content. Latency is also reduced to as low as 8.5 seconds if you use the ALLM game mode on the new Sony sets. We love that all of these sets have at least two HDMI 2.1 ports on board that supports this higher speed, so you can connect two next-gen gaming consoles. If you're into competitive gaming, these features will give you a big edge with instant on-screen action. We also like the fact that all of the new Sony models have eARC. ARC stands for Audio Return Channel. This tech sends the full Dolby Atmos immersive audio signal back down to your home theater, receiver, or soundbar via a compatible HDMI cable. This also applies to Netflix content using the Netflix calibrated mode, as you will need to use the native Netflix app on the TV. Now, Sony and Netflix engineers actually work together to develop a system that delivers content closer to the original source. So a big pro here of using the native Netflix app is Sony's special calibrated for Netflix mode, which brings studio quality picture and sound to your Sony TV. All right, now I'll get into the 7 series Sony has introduced that use the XR processor. First up is the X90K LED series. This series replaces the 2021 X90J models. The sizes available are 55, 65, 75, and 85 inches. You'll get most of the great Sony technology mentioned already at some very affordable prices. The XR processor uses Sony's XR contrast booster to improve the picture contrast. These models have XR Contrast Booster 10, which is improved over last year's models. The XR Contrast Booster 10 produces a great picture with bright highlights and great black levels. Sony XR Triluminous Pro further enhances the picture by reproducing a wide color spectrum for excellent textural detail and natural skin tones. Sony also says this TV will ship out of the box at launch with variable refresh rate. For someone looking to get into that great Sony picture and stay on budget, the X90K offers a whole lot of bang for the buck and covers the most popular sizes. The X95K models are premium 4K LED models and replace the X95J full array LED from last year. You get everything we discussed in the global overview plus more. This year, Sony introduced their first ever mini LED in the X95K. The already stellar performance of Sony's LED technology has been further evolved with thousands of significantly smaller LED lights, allowing an even more crisp and bright image. I'm going to go into a lot more detail on mini LED tech when I talk about the 8K set using it in a few minutes. I feel this series is a pretty big jump up from last year's X95J. These come in sizes of 65, 75, and 85 inches. Technology-wise, the super dense mini LEDs paired with Sony's XR backlight Master Drive Pro tech delivers incredibly precise light control with exceptional contrast. Sony's XR Contrast Booster 15 delivers brighter highlights, more natural midtones, and deeper blacks by dimming some areas of the screen while boosting others. The XR processor in the X95K, along with 3D surround upscaling, contribute to a richer, more involving sound that creates a heightened Atmos-like sound field. The acoustic multi-audio tech uses sound position tweeters in the back of the TV that tracks the action on the screen. So if you pair the X95K with one of Sony's compatible Dolby Atmos soundbars, the acoustic center sync synchronizes the built-in speakers for even better sound. These models are probably going to be the best value in the new line if you're looking at LED type sets. Now, OLED TVs have always appealed to video purists as they can deliver perfect inky blacks. When you couple a great OLED panel with Sony's XR processor, you get an even more amazing picture. The A80K models come in 55, 65, and 77-inch sizes and replace the A80J models from last year. They include most of the same great Sony tech mentioned already, but the A80K models use a new high luminance OLED panel combined with Sony's new XR OLED Contrast Pro engine to produce purer, deeper blacks with even better color reproduction for a picture that is full of depth and detail. Pairing a great OLED panel with Sony's special XR processing really boosts the color and contrast even in rooms with a lot of ambient light coming in, so you get deep, inky blacks with the brightness of an LED panel. These also support HDR10 with so many movie titles supporting Dolby Vision. This is essential for streaming 4K and 4K Blu-ray content, so you get the brightest colors that look like they really are popping off the screen. This model also includes Sony's Acoustic Surface Audio Plus and Acoustic Center Sync. So if you're looking at all the best OLED panels on the market, I think the Sony A80K series can get you into the great picture of OLED with amazing Sony processing for a reasonable price. Now, the last four are part of the Sony Master Series. These are the best of the best, using the highest quality components and great build quality. But even better, each and every panel is calibrated at the Sony factory against a reference standard. When you want the best TV on the planet, get a Master Series model. This year, we have two OLEDs, the first ever QD-OLED and an 8K mini LED in the Master Series lineup. Sony's flagship Master Series OLED is consistently one of the most highly rated TVs available, and yet somehow they always manage to improve it. This year, they've got a few surprises, including smaller panels. The A90K models come in at 42 and 48-inch sizes, but as a Master Series set, the A90K is ergonomically designed with the highest build quality, and there's even a high position stand available that turns it into a high performance gaming monitor. The new high luminance OLED panel combined with Sony's new XR OLED Contrast Pro engine gives a big boost in color and contrast even in brightly lit rooms. Overall, the two compact sizes make this a great choice for gaming or for general use in smaller rooms. Now, for anyone looking for a larger Master Series OLED, the great news is that the A90J released in 2021 carries over into this year's lineup. The A90J models come in 55, 65, and 83-inch sizes and still remain in the 2022 lineup as Sony's top-of-the-line OLED TV. This OLED has won several awards throughout 2021, so if you want an 83-inch OLED panel, this is one of the best OLED TVs available. Moving up the Master Series, we have the new Bravia A95K. Now, this is the first QD-OLED ever, and this improves on last year's award-winning A90J that carries over into this year's lineup. The A95K uses a new QD-OLED or quantum dot layer panel technology. With the A95K, you get a big boost in color brightness of up to 200% compared to conventional OLEDs. This model bundles Sony's new Bravia cam hardware. You also get all the same great Sony features and tech as the previous models, but with the QD-OLED panel. You'll get the distinct advantages of brighter saturation of colors plus a high quality webcam with advanced features that will come in handy for video chats in the living room. The A95K uses actuators on the back to send vibrations through the screen to produce sound from its entire surface. If you don't want to use a soundbar with it, this system produces better audio than standard TV speakers. This can even function as your center channel in a traditional home theater setup with a separate receiver using center speaker mode, which makes dialogue, effects, and music come directly from the screen. Now that's cool. As a completely new technology, this QD-OLED is only available in 55-inch and 65-inch sizes, but the boost in brightness is huge compared to the award-winning A90J. Now the top of the line Z9K 8K sets come in 75 and 85-inch sizes, and this one replaces last year's Z9J. As the flagship mini LED, this model also bundles Sony new Bravia cam tech with the TV. While there's not much in the way of 8K content on the market, there are still big reasons to consider an 8K panel. First, these use Sony's XR 8K upscaling and thousands of tiny, densely packed 8K mini LEDs to upscale any content close to 8K resolution, which allows you to see the fine details and textures on an immersive 75-inch or 85-inch screen. If you've ever tried watching a movie in a completely dark room on a conventional LED panel, you may have noticed a common artifact called blooming, or the halo effect around brightly lit objects on dark backgrounds, such as streetlights, stars dotting a night sky, or even subtitles. Many LED panels use thousands of miniaturized LEDs to power the backlight, and since you have more tiny LEDs, you can really control the black levels better. This technology takes everything Sony knows about high-performance image processing and then squeezes every last drop of performance from the panel to give you the best of both worlds. So you get the inky black levels like an OLED, the bright colors of a traditional LED panel, and substantially less blooming. To see an 85-inch picture upscaled to 8K is super impressive, and we just can't wait to see how good the IMAX enhanced content on Bravia Core looks on these great new 8K models. Now, I hope this overview of the new XR models from Sony has been helpful in understanding all the differences. At AudioVice, we've been fans of Sony TVs for decades. Sony also has by far and away the best customer support in the industry. There's just no comparison to the other big brands when it comes to customer service. You really cannot go wrong with any Sony TV as they all have incredible pictures, but we can say as you move up, you will get an even better quality picture. This year, more than ever before, the step up in models are well worth the price difference when you consider most of us keep a TV for at least 10 years, if not more. If you have any questions on which TV set would be the best for you, be sure to give us a call, chat with us on audiovice.com, or just stop into one of our award-winning showrooms and see them yourself. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel so you never miss the latest home audio and home theater content, and we'll see you next time.